Let me ask you, Congressman, do you think that should Republicans regain control of the House, assuming they do regain control of the House, probably the Senate, should there be an investigation into the 2020 riots? Maybe I know you mentioned there's probably not going to be a lot of energy towards these things because they're old, but I feel like we need resolution.
There should be, because I think a lot of the agitators in the 2020 riots, what we're finding out is many of these people are being paid. They're not even from the neighborhood. They're being bussed in. They're being called in. They're being paid by these organizations on the far left to go out there and do damage and hurt our country. If you saw what took place here a couple of weeks ago when they had the leak with the Supreme Court ruling, the Roe versus Wade, you saw some of the things in I think it was in California someplace, maybe LA, that seems to be and there were cop cars that had windows being smashed, and I'm like, the knucklehead breaking that window on that car has no earthly idea what the hell Roe versus Wade is. he doesn't. He has no clue. Yeah. He has been paid. They get these individuals and they rally the horses. They pay them to go out there and spin things up and stir things up. And that's the problem you have with the far left is there's no civility. They want to go immediately to violence, and it's dangerous in this country. And so this deal coming up here with this potential with the Supreme Court with Roe versus Wade, I mean, it's going to get ugly. I think National Guard needs to be deployed.
It's already gotten ugly. They've been firebombing clinics that are set up to help pregnant women.
So they announced the Supreme Court will be adding another opinion day tomorrow. Of course. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. That's when they're going to do it, aren't they? And anybody who's ever covered riots, so all the journalists out there, the riot squad, I've been on the ground, the worst possible day is Friday. Yep. Because everyone's off work and they got the weekend. Students are out of school, they got the weekend. So if they do come out tomorrow morning and say, Rowan Casey, you're gone, they may be thinking, you do it on a Friday because then no one in the media picks it up. But the lunatics are waiting. They're waiting with bated breath. It's going to be 10:45. That's when they issue usually the last opinion around 10:40. And they're going to say, Rowan Casey, you're gone. And then you are going to see tomorrow night, if they do this, bonkers, riots. And then Saturday, insanity.
And guys, if you need somewhere safe to hide out on Saturday and you're in New York City, the Beacon Theater, you go to festival.minds.com. It's big theater, sturdy walls.
That's where some of the worst rioting is going to be in New York.
I know. They're going to be like, where's Tim Pool?
I'm just realizing this right now. I mean, we didn't know. We had this event's been planned for a long time. We're going to be, it's not just us. James O'Keefe, Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. You're going to have a lot of people there. Seth Dillon's going to be there.
This is the making of an action movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we are going to get locked in and either turn on each other or become the heroes New York City has been waiting for.
Someone's going to eat the last Snickers. They're going to be like, it's him. He's a liberal. He's one of them.
I'll be like, Tulsi's a Russian asset. And then we just keep going back and forth.
Well, this is, they riot. They're encouraged to riot, as you mentioned. One of my favorite lines that we kept hearing repeatedly was, rioting is the language of the unheard. Oh. If only we were hearing them, they wouldn't be rioting. And then they turn around and they go, we have to silence conservatives or else they'll commit acts of violence. It's like, well, hold on a second. You're like concerned about violence from conservatives, so you want to make them unheard? Because you just told me like rioting is what people do when they aren't heard. So what do you believe?
I just want to stress this one more time. Like, they added an extra day to do opinions tomorrow, and it seems like it may be like, why else would they do that? They have the next week to do the final opinions. They could do it on Monday, and so I'm like, we're gonna be in New York, and it's gonna be like Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, we're gonna be locked in, and there's gonna be like, they're outside, they got the power lines and.
We have votes tomorrow morning, mid-morning. They should have probably waited till we're out of here.
Maybe they won't do it, though. Maybe what they're trying to do is... No, they're trying... I think there's like 16 more opinions. Yeah. Maybe they're trying to be like, we need to get all of this out on Monday. Yeah. So that means tomorrow we should do these ones. Then Monday we can do Roe v. Wade.
The holiday weekend. Wait for over the 4th.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
People won't be paying attention.
Maybe.
Well, the crazy people are. The crazy people will be. But it's not a holiday weekend. It's a holiday month. It's MAGA month.
That's right.
MAGA month, the month of July. We got to change all of our profile pictures to American flags and celebrate America.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. And we grill every day.
That's right. Every day.
And then on the 4th of July, you have the fireworks. But MAGA month.
I'm ready.
I'm not even kidding. I'm legit. Like,
So
we are
many.
going.
No one's gonna stop you.
ordered.
Buddy, I'm moving here.
I
ordered it.
I ordered. What did I order?
Fireworks, I hope.
How many hot dogs did I order?
Stop
100.
it.
So many.
100.
What is this?
Yeah, I think I ordered 100 hot dogs, or is it 500?
Oh.
No, it's not 500.
Oh, I think that's when I'm moving my stuff from Austin. I'm gonna have to change my plans. I'm gonna
But
have to get
it's
here
all
early.
month, bro.
Oh, it's all month.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're going to be firing up the grill all month.
This is awesome.
So I ordered this big thing from Portillo's, famous Chicago hot dogs,
Every day, baby.
and so we're going to be grilling.
Moving here is
Maga
the
month.
best decision I've ever made.
Yeah, there you go.
This is awesome. This is
Everyone's
awesome.
going to be chilling. That's work. Maga month, baby.
Yeah.
We celebrate America.
Oh my goodness.
What were we talking about? I wanted to get a little optimistic.
Gun Supreme Court protesting. Man, I also, it's just I feel like the rioting is sort of the on the street equivalent of what happens on Twitter, where it's like, do you actually want something to get done? Right? If you actually want something to get done, you're gonna want to talk to people. For example, so I got not many. I've gotten, and I thank all of you listening, I've gotten thousands of new followers on Twitter and to the podcast since I've started coming on this show. But I've lost a couple vocal fans of mine who were on the left. And they would just say stuff about you that was hyperbolic, but also that I would disagree with. And they were like, how could you be on a show with that person? And it's like, hey, man, if you think we disagree on that, wouldn't you actually think it was a great thing for me to be on the show, for me to bring a diverse viewpoint, for me to become friends with someone who maybe I will even see my point of view? Like, sometimes I see his point of view and they don't care.
No,
they
good.
will
Let 'em
not
loose.
listen. And yeah, and that's where I'm at.
So we've got this lefty guy who's going to be speaking on the same panel as us at the Beacon Theater, and he had to put out a video explaining why he was doing it.
No.
He called it a debate. And so I get a message from this like left-wing guy that I'm friends with, and he's like, "You're debating this dude," and I was like, "I'm not debating anybody. What are you talking about? Like, it's a panel on media manipulation."
Yeah, we're just hanging.
I mean, I'm gonna sit there and be like, I don't know. Like, I don't like debating people. I'll argue with someone. Or I'll try to correct them if I think they're wrong. But I don't enter debates. I don't like invite people here to debate me. I don't do any of that stuff. let's have a conversation.
It's a conversation. Yeah.
But the fact that he even had to make a video addressing it, being like, here's why I'm doing it. And then people responded with like, yeah, but dude, it's James O'Keefe. Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, okay, whatever, dude. I don't want to live that way. You know,
this point-
I like being able to walk into a room of anybody and be like, tell me stuff.
Yes.
It appears to me that the American people can't seem to be able to sit across the table from each other like this and agree to disagree.
Yes.
And what we're teaching our kids, in my humble opinion, when you see what took place with the summer riots in 2020, it seems like if we disagree now, we just all of a sudden we curl up our fists and we hit each other in the nose. Yeah. And I think it's going in the wrong direction. What are we teaching our kids? What are we teaching these kids to think, hey, if you can't resolve you, just go in there and hit him in the nose. And 2020 was bad, but we are one, Tim. We are one police shooting away from having an enormous civil unrest. I mean, if it's a white officer that shoots an African American and there's any questionable call there, Al Sharpton has his plane on the tarmac. It's ready to go. He's going to fire that thing up. He's going to fly to that area, and he's just going to go in there and he's going to be an agitator. It's sad.
Well,
that's not the way we should handle things.
It's not even about if it's questionable. You take a look at the Ahmaud Arbery case. Do you remember this one?
Yes.
Fox News, conservatives, Republicans came out in defense of Arbery, and I was just like, well, look, I don't like the guy. I don't like the fact that anybody dies. I don't like the fact that he died. But the story is just, we had a couple lawyers on who broke it down for us, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this guy was a burglar. Like, yes. He's on camera committing a burglary. Yes. And so these guys were told by the police he was the burglar. Yes. So then when they saw him, they chased after him. Yes. And they were told that if they witnessed a felony, they could intervene to stop him. Yes. But the police told them to stand down while they came to arrive, and they didn't listen. And I'm like, okay. And then what happened? The guy who filmed it got the remainder of his life in prison. And I'm like, okay, something doesn't add up here. Yeah. This story doesn't make sense. So it's not even a question of if it's like, I mean, the Ahmaud Arbery case should be very clear cut in what happened. But they will weaponize it, and they will lie about it, and they will make it questionable.
Well, and I think that just like the left needs to keep a lot of their people in check when it comes to rioting, when it comes to destroying property and stuff like that, we do have a problem. There have been plenty of kids who have lost their life unjustly, and we need to talk about that as well. Like, the one I always think of is Tamir Rice, where it was like, you have like, what, a 13-year-old kid playing with a toy gun. And I think in law enforcement, I think Oh no, is there something I don't know?
Yeah.
Don't tell me Tamir Rice is really like a 45-year-old man.
No, I think he was
on the run from
I think
robbery.
he had removed the orange tip from the gun, and he's 5'10".
Well, but so here's what I was going to ask the congressman from his law enforcement days is I feel like even if it is not racism, right, there is protocol. Like, unless you feel like you are in immediate danger, you want to de-escalate. If you can't de-escalate, you want to go hands-on. If you can't go hands-on, you want to go with taser. And then in theory, pulling the gun should be last, or am I incorrect on that?
Well, this is what I do know.
Yes.
Is there's not a law enforcement officer in America that's going to wake up tomorrow morning and go to work evening shift or night shift that says, I want to go out and legally kill somebody.
I'm going to kill
today.
a kid.
I want to go out there and legally kill somebody today. It's absolutely ludicrous to think, because that officer that has to take that life, they're going to live with that for the rest of their life. Correct. Even if it was a very dangerous situation and the guy's pointing a gun at you. And it's so difficult for law enforcement today because of the people that are mentally ill. I mean, you have people that are mentally ill with all the drugs, the fentanyl coming across, they're running around in streets naked and they're chasing officers, whether it's a small knife or even a piece of glass.
Yeah.
And they're running at the officer. So the officers have a very difficult time today, and they have to make very split, second decisions. So
did you see the video, actually, and Jamie, did you see this, where the news reporter goes to the police conflict training scenarios? Did you see this one?
No.
And so the cop is like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you this mock weapon that, it fired like spitballs or something, or paintballs. And they were like, you need to figure out when is the appropriate, like how to deal with the situation.
Oh, no.
So in the mock scenarios, he kills a guy several times. And in one, he like sees a guy by a car and he's like, what are you doing? And the guy walks around the car and he just pulls and shoots. And then the cop goes, why'd you do that? And he's like, well, he was like, he was just walking around a car. And he's like, but I didn't know what he was doing. And I was worried. And it's like, the reporter was like, in every circumstance he was given, the reporter actually killed the dude unjustly. In one, the
I
guy.
think that just says something about reporters, though, to be fair. It's like journalists
But
are an interesting
there was one
breed.
moment where the guy gets him in his face. He's like, what are you doing, man? Get out of here. And then he puts two in his chest, mockingly, right?
Yeah.
And then the cop is like, what did you do? You killed him. Oh, and then everyone starts filming. And it's like, thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.